Space is filled with endless mysteries and the silence of infinite boundaries. But in this infinite expanse, there are some places in our universe that are extremely scary and strange. And today we are going to travel into one of the most terrifying and mysterious anomalies of the universe, the Boots Void, a place so mysterious, an empty region where there is nothing except a terrifying, endless darkness. This place even forced scientists to think deeply, this is not just an empty place, it's something else entirely. Something that is beyond our understanding, and the deeper we go into it, the scarier it becomes. So the very first question is there something in this void, or is there really nothing here at all? In 1981, astronomers made a discovery that shook the entire scientific community. A huge void was found in the middle of the Boots constellation, which is so big and empty that it defied almost every logic. And after further studies, its size turned out to be 330 million light years, such a huge size and only a handful of galaxies in it. It was called the Bootis Void, and it became one of the biggest and scariest mysteries of our universe. It was discovered when, in the early 1980s, scientists were studying the movements of galaxies. And they were observing how exactly this was happening. That's when, in their data, they found a region that was completely dark where there were almost no galaxies. Our Milky Way galaxy spans about 100,000 light years, but the dark void that scientists observed was spread across 330 million light years. Bootis Void immediately became one of the largest cosmic voids, known as a supervoid. But the strangest thing was that the size of this emptiness was so huge that not just hundreds could easily fit in this area. In fact, thousands of galaxies could fit in it, and that's exactly how it should have been. But only 7 galaxies were found there. 7 galaxies spread out in a vast empty space. This completely shook the minds of the scientists. Even in the densest parts of the universe, such a vast empty space is being found. So why is it that in such a large part of this universe, there is almost nothing? So what exactly are voids in space? Generally, when we look into space, voids are not completely empty. These regions exist because gravity is a force in this universe that pulls things together. Over time, galaxies keep getting pulled toward high gravity areas, and when they get there, they form a dense cluster. But between those dense clusters, some pockets are formed where there is less matter, or the matter that remains gets pulled towards that massive cluster, and only empty spaces are left behind. Bootis Void is also such a void which has formed because of this gravitational dance, but Bootis Void is not just a low density zone, it is a cosmic puzzle. This anomaly found in the universe is so huge that it even challenges our understanding of galaxy formation. As we try to explain it further, it behaves even more strangely. Astronomers have now started to doubt whether dark energy, which is a mysterious force that is expanding our universe, really exists. Could it be working in this void? Dark energy is described as being opposite to gravity, a force that, instead of pulling matter together, pushes it apart. Perhaps that's why, in this region, galaxies appear to be moving away from each other, and as a result, this region has become almost empty. Scientists believe that the Bootis Void can't just be an empty space. It's an exaggerated emptiness, which is slowly eating away at the fabric of the universe. Bootis Void's strangeness isn't limited to just its size. In fact, it raises the question of what might exist in the universe beyond our understanding. We have no idea about it. Could it be a pathway to another dimension? Or is it a cosmic graveyard where galaxies meet their end? Or is it something else? It's far scarier than all of these. A place where even the universe itself has failed to reach. Many times, scientists speculate that the Bootis Void is so large that it must have formed from the merging of 2 or 3 large voids. This process must have been going on for billions of years. This pushed the galaxies to the edges, creating such an empty void where only emptiness remained trapped. Maybe the merging of these voids created a region where the laws of physics are completely different. Who knows, maybe space and time interact there in a way that we haven't even imagined yet. Some people believe that these regions have existed since the very beginning of our universe. There could be some forces there that are shaping galaxies in this region in a completely different way compared to our present-day universe. Imagine if you were traveling through this void, a region of space where there are no stars or planets to guide you, nowhere to stop, rest, or call home. Just an endless ocean of darkness and silence. Besides this, there is something else about this void that can make you uneasy. Some scientists believe that the Boots void could be a gateway to another universe. Could these voids be the places where the edges of our universe collide with another reality? Although this is just a speculative theory, if it turns out to be true, the consequences could be very frightening. Although there are many theories and explanations about the mystery of the Bootes void in the scientific community, things get even more interesting here. The study of the Bootes void is helping scientists gain a better understanding of dark energy and its effects on the universe. Such voids indicate how quickly galaxies are moving away from each other in this universe. Bootes void is especially helping us understand this mysterious universe, which is dominated by the expansion of space. A force that might one day be able to explain the future of the universe. Maybe we can get an answer to what will happen to the universe in the future. Will it expand so much that galaxies will move so far away from each other that our night sky will disappear into the infinity of darkness? Will everything end one day and nothing will remain except for monstrous empty spaces like the Bootes void? Bootes void reminds us how little we know about this universe. For every question answered, hundreds of new questions arise. It's truly frightening that in the vast expanse of the universe, there are such mysterious regions that are so empty. They're so strange that we might never be able to fully understand them. But that's what makes this universe even more fascinating. The scariest aspect of the void is that it challenges our understanding of how galaxies form. Could this void be the result of some huge mistake in our universe? Or is there something hidden inside it that's even scarier than we can imagine? So what do you think? Is the Bootes void just a simple cosmic anomaly, or is it something more than that? Could this be a gateway to another universe where all the rules of reality break down? On October 19, 2017, astronomers were observing space with the Pan-STARRS telescope when suddenly they saw a shining object in the sky. It was changing its position very quickly. Seeing this, they were all surprised because it could either be an asteroid or a comet, because whatever it was quite small in size. At first, the scientists thought it was an asteroid. But then they got some information about this thing, after which it started being called a comet. But when the scientists were studying the data of this object, things slowly started to get out of hand. They found out that this is an interstellar object which could be either an asteroid or a comet. However, this is the first interstellar object observed and studied by us which has intercepted our solar system from such a close distance. But this conclusion increased the scientists' concern even more, because whatever this thing was, it had already crossed the sun once, and we weren't able to see it at the right time. And when we saw it passing by, its speed was 87 kilometers per second. Clearly, it didn't seem to be from our solar system at all. When this mysterious object was discovered on the Hawaiian island, it was also given a Hawaiian name. Oumuamua means a messenger who has come for the first time. So what is the real truth of Oumuamua that will shock you? Is it really an alien spaceship, or has it been sent by some alien civilization? Where did this object come from? We will find out in today's video. San. After Oumuamua's 2017 discovery, scientists started speculating about this first interstellar object. The first assumption everyone had was the same that comes to everyone's mind, that it could be an asteroid. It was cigar-shaped, and there was a reason to consider it an asteroid because it didn't have a tail, which is often seen in the case of comets. But gradually, as it was studied further, one thing completely shocked the scientists. Its orbit was hyperbolic, which meant that we were seeing it for the first and last time. This object was leaving our solar system, and the biggest reason for that was its speed. It was moving ahead at a speed of 87 kilometers per second, and this speed was almost 3 times higher than the average asteroid or comet in the solar system. And that's when scientists started coming up with different theories about it. Because the speed of this mysterious object couldn't be justified by considering it an asteroid. There was definitely something mysterious going on with this object, something we couldn't understand. After all, how could it achieve such a high speed, even while being in our solar system, and despite the gravitational pull of our sun, achieving such a high speed is unbelievable. No one was able to digest this fact. One day, it will say goodbye to our solar system. Actually, the surprising thing here was not just its speed, but rather it was its accelerated speed. That is, its speed was continuously increasing. As it was moving away from us, its speed kept increasing. And because of this, a big effort was made to explain this non-gravitational acceleration. A strange theory comes forward, and it's about extraterrestrials. Yes, some scientists claim that this cigar-shaped object, which is 200 meters long, is nothing but an alien spaceship. An alien spaceship powered by a technology that we can't even begin to understand. And that's when Oumuamua started being linked to extraterrestrials and alien spaceships, and this mysterious thing quickly went viral on the internet. Meanwhile, there were some scientists who still wanted to understand it based on the fundamentals of science. There were also some scientists who presented several ideas about this mysterious thing, but either they were imaginary or far beyond our understanding of science. It was quite difficult to digest the alien theory, that if any civilization even wants to reach us, then why haven't we received any response from them? Why are they leaving quietly from here? And it's actually true that there's nothing like aliens in Oumuamua. After so much happened, scientists were busy trying to solve the mystery of its speed. And while rejecting the theory of it being an asteroid, they present another fact, in which there are some points that can justify its non-gravitational acceleration. So the scientists did not. They believed that instead of being an asteroid, it could be a comet, because when a comet passes near the sun, vapor, gas, and dust are released from it, which act like thrusters for the comet. As these things are released from the comet gets a push and its speed increases. So in this way, the increasing speed of Oumuamua can be justified by a comet. But even here, there is a big flaw, and that is that comets often have a lot of brightness. There is usually frozen water in the core, which gets heated up when it comes near the sun, and water vapor is released from the comet. Dust and other gases are also released, which we normally see. Comets have a very long tail of these released materials behind them. Sorry, the input text appears to be garbled or contains multiple languages and cannot be accurately translated. Please provide a clear sentence in Hindi. What? I started studying for registration. They keep moving around in very cold environments, like space. Jennifer believes that the actual explanation for Oumuamua's first appearance could be very simple, and maybe that's why we've never really paid attention to it. And she approaches her colleague Daryl Seligman, who is a National Science Foundation postdoctoral fellow at Cornell University. And the two of them started working together on this mysterious object. Jennifer and Daryl believe that if the object isn't forming a tail, the reason could be that it's not releasing dust and water vapors. It could be that the object is only releasing highly volatile material, such as hydrogen, nitrogen, and carbon monoxide. But there were also several theoretical issues in explaining this theory. For example, if we shake hydrogen, the hydrogen gas would To freeze an object the size of Oumuamua, you would need extremely cold temperatures, and scientists don't think that the cloud where Oumuamua and similar objects might have formed would have been that cold. It would have to be so cold that it could freeze hydrogen and pack it inside this object. Besides, if nitrogen was being released, which was providing thrust to accelerate that object. For some reason, most scientists were not sure about hydrogen. Ha2 molecular hydrogen gas was being released from Oumuamua, making Oumuamua a hydrogen iceberg. Calculations showed that if hydrogen molecules were released from this object, they could provide enough thrust for rapid acceleration. It could travel at this speed of kilometers per second against the sun's gravitational pull. So this matter settled on hydrogen, but the questions just wouldn't stop. Now the scientists faced another challenge, and that was how did he survive? Why wasn't hydrogen released from it there? Because the temperature of interstellar space isn't so low that hydrogen could remain frozen there. While hydrogen was solving one mystery, questions were being raised about the very presence of hydrogen. How did hydrogen manage to travel such a long distance in that object and reach our solar system? So here, Jennifer's idea was that a comet traveling from interstellar space reaches us. On the way, it gets exposed to cosmic radiation. And we already know that comets have water ice frozen in them. This cosmic radiation reacts with that water ice, and from that reaction, H2 molecular hydrogen is formed inside the water ice. But their question was, can we trap that hydrogen in such a way that the object can travel the entire interstellar path? When it comes in front of our sun, only then the hydrogen present in it is released and it can get thrust. Is that possible? And can this thing explain that non-gravitational acceleration? But surprisingly, Jennifer finds some evidence like that. Jennifer finds results from some experiments from the 1970s, 80s, and 90s where this was demonstrated. It has been shown that when normal ice in space is hit by highly energetic particles like cosmic rays, molecular hydrogen gets trapped in that ice. And it gets trapped because the ice that forms in space has an amorphous structure. And as soon as it comes in front of our sun, the sun's energy changes the ice present in it from amorphous to crystalline form. Because of this, the trapped hydrogen inside it finds a way to escape. And that's what gives this object a strong thrust. Jennifer's idea is so accurate that most scientists believe this is the process happening on that comet. And it was such a simple idea that no one else thought of it. But as soon as this came up, another question arose. Is this really an interstellar object? Because it has been observed that the comets which are at the very outer edge of our solar system, out there, cosmic rays can often penetrate deep inside those comets, and the same process can also happen to those comets. So it is also possible that Oumuamua is not an interstellar object but could be a comet that has come from the outer edge of our own solar system. We know that comets introduce us to the history of the solar system. By studying comets, we have understood so much about the formation of our solar system that no planet can give us that much information. Studying interstellar comets helps us understand how other solar systems form. And then we will be able to know even better what the history of the planets is. This is our galaxy Milky Way. This is a part of the universe. In ours, there is Smile-I breakup. Our AMB Grav, very unique, has a nap church, now strength. And at the center of all this is the one who is driving the giant galaxies. A supermassive black hole, the Lord of Darkness, which is one of the greatest mysteries of this endless universe. As far as we have come to know about black holes, it has always been a center of attraction for all of us. The most mysterious of all, and so vast that there is no need to even describe their power. These cosmic giants, who are often described as terrifying, they remain hidden at the centers of galaxies, These unimaginably powerful giants have been present in the universe's history since the very beginning of its existence. Recently, scientists have found some evidence that suggests black holes. They existed in our early universe much earlier than we previously thought. This discovery could change our understanding of the early universe. After all, what were these mysterious objects doing at the very beginning of the universe? How did they form so quickly, and how did their evolution happen in that early universe? Astronomers have been puzzled for a long time about the presence of quasars in the early universe. The discovery of early universe quasars is significant. The presence of supermassive black holes there, and this conclusion surprised scientists even more. These observations have raised many questions. How could supermassive black holes form in the early universe, which was not even 1 billion years old yet? Even though they didn't have enough time to grow and evolve, so were they born as unusually massive giants? Or did they somehow learn to grow very quickly, breaking the rules of the universe? A study has been published in the astrophysical journal Letters using data from the Hubble Space Telescope. And this study has revealed that the earliest black holes were less luminous and were growing in a universe filled with darkness. Because of this unique characteristic, they had managed to escape our observation until now. This astonishing discovery not only deepens this mystery even further, but also provides us with a lot of new information about the formation of black holes. Let's go on a journey of black holes today and see how these black holes were forming in the early universe. We'll also take a look at what the James Webb Space Telescope has told us about black holes. So get ready to embark on an exciting journey filled with the mysteries of this universe. The mystery of early black holes is one of the biggest unsolved puzzles in science so far. How did supermassive black holes come into existence right after the Big Bang? Quasars, which are among the brightest objects in this universe. They are powered by giant black holes. Scientists have observed these quasars in galaxies present in the early universe, when the universe was not even 1 billion years old. Now these objects are such that in just 1 billion years, they grow so much that they become supermassive black holes and form quasars. It's just not possible. It's like if I asked you, have you ever seen a 10-year-old old man? You'd say, how can someone be born and become old in just 10 years? Even scientists are puzzled after seeing this very case. If they had so little time, how did they grow so old so quickly? Speaking of black holes, they grow by swallowing the gas, dust and other things around them. All this matter falls into the area of the black hole's accretion disk and then slowly gets absorbed by the black hole. As this matter falls into the black hole, it keeps getting swallowed. In that accretion disk, millions of tons of matter collide with each other. Because of this friction, it heats up a lot. And because of that, the entire accretion disk and the surrounding matter reach a very high temperature. As a result, the entire accretion disk releases intense radiation, creating a pressure barrier, and a limit is set on the black hole's matter consumption, which directly affects the growth of the black hole. Considering this limit, scientists are unable to explain how black holes became so massive in such a short time despite this limit existing back then. Given by scientists, there are two possible solutions for this. Either these giant black holes were formed from a stellar mass black hole, which are the remnants of a massive star, which die very quickly, so it takes them less time to reach the stage of a supermassive black hole. But if this process speeds up a little, then they can grow within a given limited time. Now, because their beginning itself is with a mass 1,000 times heavier than our sun. That's why they are also called heavy seeds, and for this reason, they quickly reach a larger size. But where do these heavy seeds actually come from? One theory points to dark matter halos. This is a structure made of invisible matter which holds galaxies together. This structure is very large. They also trap gas clouds in the matter and prevent those clouds from turning into a star. When stars do not form from those gas clouds, they directly collapse into a black hole. This creates a much heavier seed. However, there is still a problem. Only a few dark matter halos have been found to be large enough to trigger direct black hole collapse. Black holes formed in this way should be found in very low numbers in the early universe because the dark matter halos that create them were also quite rare. But recently, a new one has not come forward. Research shows that the number of black holes we have observed in the early universe is much higher than our calculations predicted. And because of this, astronomers are now forced to believe that some very mysterious forces were at work in the early universe which our current science is unable to understand. Now, how can there be black holes without any mystery surrounding them? Black holes and James Webb Space Telescope discoveries. Thanks to advanced technology, astronomers are now able to find black holes hidden in galaxies present in the early universe. Earlier, we could only detect those bright quasars because they are very bright. But recently, observations from the Hubble Space Telescope have also discovered many less luminous black holes, which had remained hidden from our view until now. Scientists monitored 15 years of brightness data from galaxies. With this, they have also become capable of estimating the black holes that are quietly growing in the universe. This method has given us new data which shows that the number of black holes we previously assumed existed, actually, in the early universe, their number is many times higher. James Webb Space Telescope has taken this discovery even further. Thanks to its extraordinary sensitivity and advanced spectroscopic capabilities, James Webb Space Telescope has also started hunting faint black holes in the early universe. It is closely monitoring their activities. This telescope is also capable of detecting the faint glow of black holes hidden within galaxies. This will help astronomers refine our early models of the cosmos. But then this raises another question. If there were so many black holes present at that time, how did they all grow so quickly? After all, where did so much matter come from for them to consume? According to scientists, the answer to this might be hidden. In mealtime variability, unlike stars, black holes do not grow continuously. They have different eating habits at different times. Rather, they keep a gap in their eating times. They take breaks, which makes it difficult to estimate the actual rate at which their size increases. Black holes deceive us here as well. This discovery is also groundbreaking because it contradicts our earlier models. That means they prove the models we created to be wrong. Scientists now believe that all the black holes discovered so far, from extremely bright quasars to the recently discovered less bright black holes, there are so many of them that they couldn't all have formed from direct collapse. This suggests that there must have been some extremely mysterious processes at work at that time, which were not only creating large but also a huge number of these black holes. In the next 5 years, the James Webb Space Telescope is going to play an important role in solving this cosmic puzzle. Its ability to observe faint black holes also gives scientists the power to witness the death of the earliest stars. And this event can tell us where the initial seeds of black holes came from in such large quantities and how the universe continued its journey forward. Apart from the standard theories of dark stars and black hole formation, scientists now have even more. They are considering strange and unusual ideas in order to somehow explain the black holes of the early universe. And one of these strange and unusual ideas is the concept of dark stars. However, dark stars are completely hypothetical, meaning they are imaginary. This star forms when a large cloud of gas starts to collapse, just like a normal star forms. But when dark matter is present in that normal star formation, something mysterious happens. As the gas present in the cloud contracts, that is, as it shrinks, it captures a large amount of dark matter particles, and these particles are about to become normal. They modify the internal structure of this star in such a way that the process of nuclear fusion at its core stops, which is what makes stars shine. Without the fusion process, this star cannot shine like a normal star. But it lives much longer than those stars and becomes very massive. And eventually, these stars collapse under their own weight and turn into a black hole, which is much bigger than any normal stellar mass black hole. It's interesting to think that if these objects existed in our early universe, then we would have observed them. They can explain the observation of a large number of black holes, although dark stars are still a theoretical concept for us, an imaginary idea. But large telescopes like James Webb could play an important role in proving the existence of such stars. Observing the collapse of those early stars with their telescopes, it can tell us whether dark stars played a major role in black hole formation in the early universe or not. This adds another exciting possibility to the growing list of questions about these black holes. Are there some processes at work in the universe that we don't fully understand yet? Future of black hole research. There is a high possibility of such exciting discoveries in the future. In the past few years, there has been a revolution in research in this field. Upcoming missions like the Euclid mission and the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope will help not only in observing faint black holes but also in detecting faint quasars. Meanwhile, observatories like the Square Kilometre Array or Square Kilometre Array being built in Australia and South Africa will help us understand black holes in greater depth. But for now, James Webb Space Telescope is at the forefront of this research. By observing some of the faintest black holes in the early universe, it is helping us refine our old models. In the coming years, with its help, we will also succeed in finding a star collapsing, and that discovery will be historic. Is a planet that left the solar system now about to collide with Earth? Is our Earth about to be destroyed? There are a lot of such rumors. Or you could say, predictions like these have been made from time to time, but so far, none of them have come true. A similar prediction was made in 1995 that during the 21st century, the ninth planet of our solar system, which has been lost, is going to collide with Earth. Is this really going to happen? Before knowing about this, let's try to understand whether there were really 9 planets in the past, and if yes, then where did that 9th planet go? We don't have any proof of this yet. First, we have to know where that 9th planet went, only then can we move forward. How did the scientists finally find this out? Our sun is a star. So, there are 4 terrestrial planets like Mercury, Earth, Venus, and Mars, and 4 gas giants and ice giant planets like Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune are present. Besides this, our solar system also has dwarf planets, natural satellites, and an asteroid belt. It is believed that about 4.96 billion years ago, our solar system came into existence due to an explosion in a solar nebula. Our solar system was not formed with all 8 planets as we see today, but instead there must have been many more planets present compared to today. Because when we study the theory of the formation of Earth's moon, we find that in the early solar system there was a planet between the size of Earth and Mars. There was a planet named Theia, which collided with the Earth, and as a result, our Earth's moon was formed. That is why it is believed that at that time, there were many large planets like Theia present in our solar system, and all those planets either collided with each other and were destroyed, or because of their collisions, moons and the asteroid belt must have been formed. When this destruction finally ended, there must have been 8 planets, their moons, the asteroid belt, and dwarf planets left in our solar system. But some research points to the fact that maybe at that time, all the planets collided with each other and were destroyed. But besides the 8 planets in our solar system, there was one more planet. It can be said that it was pushed out of this solar system. Most scientists seem to agree that the planet that was pushed out was either an ice giant or a gas giant planet. In 2011, an astronomer from the Southwest Research Institute, David Nesboni, published a research paper. He prepared this research paper with the help of a computer simulation model, which he used to study the migration of the outer planets. When a planet passes near a gas giant or an ice giant planet, its orbit either increases or decreases. The motivation for this research came from the fact that our solar system has much more space and nearly circular orbits compared to other exoplanets, whereas this is not found in any other solar system. With the help of this simulation, National Aeronautics and Space Administration warning applied different conditions related to the solar system. So they reached the conclusion that somewhere between the orbit of the gas giant Saturn and the orbit of Neptune, there was another planet whose mass was almost equal to that of Uranus. In their simulation, Nazwani worked on several criteria. First, there should have been a new planet. In the company of gas giants, Pluto was a traveler. Like the book Sembati Diction in Present Times by Shikba Rapasyan, in this criteria, the ratio of the orbital periods of Jupiter and Saturn was compared. Based on these criteria, Neswani identified 4 and 5 planets after the asteroid belt. That is, based on the positions of the 8th and 9th planets in this solar system, different data was collected. The data collected in this way was also rechecked with the help of different factors. Later, when the final result came out, it was really very surprising, because Nazwani's computer simulations were indicating that our assumptions were wrong. After asteroid detection in the system, there shouldn't have been only 4 but 5 planets. That means our solar system should have not 8 but 9 planets. According to Nazwani's computer simulation, based on the orbits and mass of all the planets beyond the asteroid belt in our current solar system, there should definitely be either an ice giant or a gas giant present between Saturn and Neptune, and its mass should be almost equal to that of the planet Uranus. This data shocked the scientists because, according to it, a planet has disappeared from our solar system. And man, that planet, no one can kidnap it, so where did it go? But this was the biggest question. So should we assume that about 820,000 years after the birth of the early solar system, outside the asteroid belt, the 5th existing planet had left our solar system, and only after that did the current solar system exist? The collisions between the remaining planets had completely stopped, and all these planets had reached their respective orbits in the current solar system. In this way, after such terrible destruction, our solar system had now become completely stable. A big question has arisen before scientists. How did a planet disappear from our solar system, and why has no one been able to find out anything about it until now? To find out about this ghost planet, in 2015, Ren Coutier, Daniel Tumayo, and Dana Valencia from the University of Toronto started researching computer simulation models of the solar system. With this simulation, they wanted to find out about the 5th planet that had disappeared from our solar system. Wasn't it possible that giant planets like Jupiter and Saturn had a hand in showing it the way out? For this, scientists started studying the effects on the orbits of Jupiter's moon Callisto and Saturn's moon Iapetus after a collision event. Scientists proceeded with this data in computer simulation models, assuming that they were lost. The 5th planet must have collided with either Jupiter or Saturn. And besides this, they assumed that the mass of that 5th planet was about the same as Uranus. After this, scientists created a simulation model of collisions occurring at a very close distance, that is, about 0.02 astronomical units. They also started analyzing the data obtained in this way. The scientists kept changing the distance of the collision, and they kept changing it until the computer simulation model confirmed the claim that one of the planets had exited the Saur-Mandal. Based on the simulation model created in this way and the data obtained from it, some very surprising information came to light. According to the computer simulation model, the reason behind the current orbit of Jupiter's moon Callisto is that it was expelled from the solar system. It is that 5th planet because there was no collision between Jupiter and the 5th planet. Its orbit was brought to its current position and stabilized. This meant that there really was an ice giant in our solar system, and today it is lost somewhere far away from us in this endless universe. Scientists also apply computer simulation models to Saturn to find this out. Is it wrong to blame our Jupiter for this entire ejection? Scientists have studied Saturn's role in this, but their studies suggest that Saturn was not related to this situation. The shape of the orbit also indicates that this was not due to Saturn. So it seems that this was mainly due to Jupiter and not Saturn, that the ice giant was ejected from the solar system and sent on this journey into the galaxy. In 2020, astronomers Matthew S. Clement, Sean S. Ramon Nathan, Ekaib Ruggieri, Yodino, John A. Chambers, and Andre Elzidaro began developing a computer simulation model to study the orbital history of Jupiter and Saturn. The scientists utilized Nesvani's methods, applying 4 criteria and running around 6,000 simulations. Most of the time after the asteroid belt there were 4 or 5 planets, because the simulation model with 5 planets is the only one that completely matches the data from our solar system today. Friends, in this way, it can be assumed that in the upheaval of our solar system, Jupiter played a role. The giant gas planets had thrown an ice giant planet out of our solar system. Because of this, instead of 9 planets, today only 8 planets exist in our system. We have no information about where this ghost ice giant planet, which was ejected from our solar system, is today. Now let's talk about the possibilities of colliding with the 9th planet and the reality behind them. In 1995, author Nancy H. Dardoz continued using the name Nibiru. Records from 1996 state that the aliens allowed them to have contact with Pakistan Hill on Sahara. It was said that Nibiru would collide with Earth. At that time, Nancy said that it would happen in 2003, but after that, Nancy did not. Several predictions about Nibiru colliding with Earth existed until June 21, 2020, but every time, their predictions turned out to be wrong. So friends, in this way, it can be said that predictions related to another planet colliding with Earth are completely false. That's why instead of paying attention to any such rumors, we should trust our scientists that if such a situation arises, they will warn us in advance and will also make every possible effort to keep us safe. So friends, what do you think? Is there a 9th planet present in our solar system which used to be with us at one time? Friends, do let us know your opinion in the comment section below. Friends, how did you like this video? If you liked the video, then be sure to like it and share it with your friends.